Well, boy, do we got a good show for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Jonathan Reed, an alien encounter, but he's got a body that he stored in his freezer. This is fucking mind-blowing. And chi energy. There's something to this. Catching a bullet in your hand, pushing a chopstick through a table, oh, it's on. And finally, your light bulbs today might actually be a piece of shit. Up next on Talk is Cheap. Gentlemen,
how do you want to do
cheers.
Awesome.
We might start the show off.
Smart water, that's right.
All right, cheers.
Cheers, mates.
You know, this is my favorite time of the week. We get together, talk about conspiracies, and drink beer. What more could you ask for, except you got water, but...
I'm okay with that.
Dusty, are you originally from Wisconsin?
Yes. Peter, are you originally from
Yes, I
Wisconsin?
am.
Yeah? And Daniel, I know you are.
Yep, I hardly ever leave the state.
I had some place to go with that.
Yeah,
I thought, be nice about it. You know?
Awesome. Very cool. Yeah.
And why don't you leave the state?
I'm not sure how to respond to that.
Thank you guys for watching. This is Talk is Cheap, where cheap is talk and talk is cheap. And I am Dan Hohlfeld, joined by Peter Halbleib and Dusty Long. Today, I'm going to talk about, did anybody ever heard of Jonathan Reed in this alien contact story?
I don't believe I
This is a pretty good one. It's got some, like, pretty good evidence, which makes it, there might be something here, you know?
Ah.
Okay, he was out in the woods walking, going for a hike. This is 60 miles east of Seattle in Washington. It's the Alpine Lake Wilderness area. Anyway, he's walking on the trail. His dog, Susie, who's with him, takes off and goes after, like, he must have thought it was a squirrel or something, whatever. It takes off after something. Then he hears it yelping or whatever. Finds out what it is. He goes over there. There's literally an alien like this grabbing the jaws of the dog and rips it into powder. And it's gone just like that. It's powder on the ground.
Really, like vaporized it or disintegrated it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what would you do in this situation?
I'd draw out my .357 and put 3 holes in it.
If he didn't have his gun with, what would you do?
I'd pick up a very large rock and put a hole in it.
That's about what he did, except he grabbed a stick.
Okay.
Hey,
Whacked it over the fucking head.
He attacked an alien with a stick.
Yeah.
After you
knocked
saw
it.
it completely vaporize a dog.
His dog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
imagine the emotion.
I'd probably be pretty
absolutely.
pissed off. Yeah, I'd probably
I'm a
whack him.
dog owner. I would jump into a raging
Yeah.
river to save my dog and stuff. That's
Or maybe I'd just
Interesting.
be like, damn, and then turn around and walk away gently.
So
Yeah.
he knocks it
I would probably
unconscious.
run.
Oh,
Oh, so he did knock it out.
knock the
then,
shit
too.
out of it,
Yeah,
huh?
and it's laying on the ground.
Okay. He didn't have sex with it, did he?
Don't start with that shit. Oh, Christ.
Kill my dog and rape you.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, so anyway, knocked it on the ground. I'm sorry.
I'd like to point out that Dusty is the one drinking water. I would expect something like that after a few
So I'm
more
sober,
days.
that's
All right,
bad.
I'm going to finish the story up.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Knocks it on the ground.
Okay.
And then he really can't believe what happened. I believe he goes back to his car, and he's like, I got to get proof, you know, if this thing is something, whatever. He grabbed a thermal blanket, you know, those tin
Yeah,
ones.
the aluminum
Yeah.
emergency blankets.
And his camera that he had with goes back up, films it.
So it's still there.
It's still there. And then there's also a obelisk craft that it must have been the alien that was next to the body there, which is a whole story in of itself.
Of itself, yeah.
But long story short, he takes the body, wraps it in that thermal blanket, takes it home, puts it in his freezer. Come to figure, it's still alive.
Oh, well, yeah, it was just knocked
Yeah,
out,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
So I got his book here, which this goes into way more detail than any story ever could, but he's got some photographs here at the back. Here's his dog that died,
Of course, yeah, picture of the dog.
and
That's nice and clear, up close.
Yeah, not shaking or moving.
his dead alien that he hit over the head. What do you think of that?
It's a cabbage. Son of a bitch. Wait. So anyway, he knocks
It looks
the thing.
kind of like paper mache,
Does it really? Yeah.
but
Well, then again, it's a gray,
yeah.
and it's been.
I wouldn't
frozen.
even say it's quite a gray. It's kinda. It's got the great qualities, but I wouldn't even consider it in that category.
Who took the pictures?
I would like to
He
see
did.
more. I would like to see more pictures.
Now you're
because-
getting ahead of me there.
Yeah, I would like to see more pictures, right? Because you would think that this guy.
I got
has
video. How about that?
Oh damn!
It's not HD though. That's the problem.
Son of a. You know
This
what? Your
was-
Apple will be able to take care of it though.
Let me requalify. This was back in 96.
Oh okay.
So we're talking like handy cam quality video here. That's the problem.
I'll tell you what I did with a handy cam once or twice.
Yeah.
Is that the
This is the obelisk that what must have been his craft. He said he put his hands up on it and it felt cold,
You know what that reminds me of? I ain't shitting you one
and
bit.
he couldn't move it. He tried moving it.
and it wouldn't move.
No.
So then it's still there.
Yeah, that's. But you're getting to my next question. What happened to that?
Either they picked it up, or like I told you, the alien was still alive.
Yeah.
He's. I
Oh.
think he's still alive today. He actually left and went back to his kind.
So wait. Hits alien. Alien gets knocked out.
With
Kidnaps alien. Takes
Yeah.
pictures, of course. Kidnaps alien. Throws in freezer. Alien taps on freezer. Says, "Hey, still awake, bro."
It's cold in here.
He
Yeah, it's
does
cool,
actually. Yeah, he comes out and
Because-
starts making noise and stuff.
All right,
He
so
went on-
he lets the alien out, and then the alien's like Paul, and then escapes, finds two guys in an RV, gets back to his ship, and takes off.
You're not far off. He actually.
No shit.
Like, talked to the other ones, the other kind and stuff, and then
No
he found out that they're actually nice and stuff. But
How are they nice? They ripped his damn dog in half.
what would you do if something was attacking you? The dog attacked it.
Oh,
it was
yeah?
a self-defense.
Well, you know, I've fled self-defense
well, with
a
only
few
one
times.
witness left, you kind of just have to believe the.
But
That
let's
one.
get back to the. I got some
Yes,
footage
we're-
here.
We're digressing.
This is okay. He walks down, grabs his camera, comes back up after he knocked the alien out. This is where we're picking up.
Is this his video or?
Yeah.
He's crying.
Now pay attention to the color of it. He's not crying. It's I don't know
He's
if it was
hyperventilating.
Yeah, I don't know if it was some disease that could have biological or
Just, I think,
something happened and
I think natural adrenaline
Yeah.
reaction. That's.
he's throwing up.
So it's a tall
Susie
alien
is
too.
dark,
It's
of course.
a.
I think it's like 4 or 5 feet. Now there's the obelisk. So he's trying to get the camera to record it, but there's so much distortion
Yeah, with the-
being that close. But you can see it there.
Who even with video, who would believe you? You know.
That's the problem. He's getting a lot of backlash.
So now he's back away and the camera's working
Yeah,
better.
see now it's a little bit better.
It's basically like a magic carpet, right? It's something thin.
Yeah, it's almost like
The alien must sit on it to ride it or something.
no, like it's because of space and time or whatever. It's actually like bigger inside. It's like it's so hard to
sure,
wrap your
yeah.
mind around that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But yeah, do you actually like,
Okay.
you can go
So
inside?
he would just, it would open up, he'd go in, and it'd be like a normal size, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I understand.
Oh,
I
like genie in a
understand
bottle
the
type thing,
concept
yeah.
of.
All right, now he's back at home here. He has the body wrapped up. I believe he had it in the freezer for a little bit. He's at home. He's thinking, "Oh, fuck, this can't be happening. Maybe I hit a bear or something over the head or whatever." He's like, "That can't be an alien in there." Carries it out, and now he's filming it.
Wouldn't you call your pal though? Wouldn't you have your best
He
friend
did
over there?
have, he did
okay.
have, but he And I don't know if he left before this or... What's up?
Can you go down the volume a little?
Sorry. Yeah, it's
Especially on that 10-4 like that.
Now, I want you to pay attention to the eyes when he opens this up.
So almost like it's blinking.
Yep. It's playing possum.
I swear to Christ, this thing jumps up and screams over shit myself.
And he said at the time when he was filming this, he didn't realize that it was blinking. He thought it was dead.
Look at that long neck on it. It's tough to tell. Is that blood or pool? Like
That's
a
part of the blood.
or
yeah.
is that shadow too?
When
Maybe.
he got clocked over the head. He gets up a little closer here, does an examination.
Yeah, that's shitty video though,
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
the thing.
I'm trying to lean in closer myself. I don't see any
shit, the mouth
nostrils. Yeah, I don't see any nostrils though, do you?
That kind of gets rid of the whole paper mache idea and shit when his mouth
yeah,
opens.
it sure does. Now he's messing with his eyes.
Pulling the eyelid. Son of a bitch.
Oh, that is blood. You can, you know, his reaction seems pretty genuine. You know, he's got that heavy breathing and, I mean, especially out in the woods. I mean, that didn't seem rehearsed.
Nice. Sound panicked.
Okay, now he must have the camera sitting there, just sitting there.
Yeah.
So what's he got there? Skin flap?
That's part of that, yeah, where he knocked
God.
it over the head.
At least we know that we can kill him.
They bleed red.
But look at the skin color now. Remember I told you?
Yeah.
It went from blue, now it's gray. Those are those photographs.
Creepy, man.
His whole life is shot to hell. The government came in, basically tried to erase him, killed a lot of his friends, people that were close to him.
But he's alive though.
I
yet?
believe he went down to Mexico. That's why this is different. That's basically where he's hiding out.
Oh, right on.
Fact or faked tried to do the whole reenactment of, they said it was all bullshit basically, and they tried to prove him wrong. So right now they're gonna do the obelisk and try to fake that. And you can tell the proportions are different on that thing already off the bat.
Yeah.
Part's gonna be on the right. Perfect. Yeah. That looks good.
So I drilled on this mount on the back side. We're going to attach it to this Schedule 80 aluminum pipe that we've secured to the ground and wrapped in greenery. And hopefully from the vantage point, you won't be able to see the pole and it will appear to be floating.
So
So this is what that guy did out in the
They
woods.
think he went to all that trouble to carry a big fucking thing up.
And plus, and then kill his dog, or what was it? It was an elaborate ruse to so he could get rid of his dog.
Let's do this.
But you can see how that right there with that fucking, that just looks like a joke.
And I'm not saying that you can't recreate something to look like that.
That's another thing I want to make
that
a point.
proves nothing.
It
just
just to say
yeah.
that you can recreate it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah,
That's very true. I mean,
Yeah.
look at movies all the time. We recreate highways and whole towns and then decimate them with a nuke. And
I mean, it shows it's not impossible that a human could do this, but I think now you got to talk about the probability that this guy was going to go through that effort just to, I mean, did he make a lot of money? Did he tour the country and stuff?
Well,
has any of them ever?
Talks, but
That's the interesting thing. You know, we always bring up the fame or whatever, but every time that someone comes up and says, I was abducted or anything else, the only movie I can actually remember is that Sky on Fire where those loggers got
Fire
taken.
in the Sky.
Fire in the Sky.
Yeah.
Where
Oh,
the
yeah.
loggers had. That was the only time. Otherwise, there are 2,000 a month UFO sightings and abductions and shit. These people never get paid money or anything.
You're only, at best, you're just not going to be laughed out of your community and out of your job. You know,
Oh,
at
yeah.
worst, you know, you're
Well-
completely destroyed as a person when you have this stigma attached to you.
Exactly right.
and now they're gonna try to reenact this part.
Jonathan Reed walked through the forest.
See, look at now they got their fake alien. Can look kind of close, but okay, the skin colors.
Impressed by the suit, by the face.
God, that looks so good.
It looks like it's hovering in midair. The breathing actually helps because when you're breathing like that, you feel like the motion of what the camera would be doing. I did stumble.
I mean,
See how
certainly it's possible that the whole thing could have been faked. So we're in the realm of is it probable that it was faked?
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that on the back end of this guy's life, you know, you see it that you would have thought at some point if he faked it, he would just get it behind him. It would have come out, and there'd be some sort of confession out there, admission of guilt by him to saying,
Well,
"Hey,
exactly,
yeah, I did."
yeah. I mean, if he's going through hell, I mean, if the government comes in, takes his shit, you know, hurts his friends, family, whatever, you know, you're sure he's gonna be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm sorry, I didn't do it, or it was faked.
Yep.
But instead, he flees and then puts out the book, puts out more information. Now either he's a diehard fanatic and feels there's really aliens, and he's got to be the one to have the proof, and so he faked it to do that. Or it really fucking happened, and he don't care anymore. He's like, you know, these people are putting me through hell. The American people don't know it. Or he faked it all and just wants to be in misery.
Which who would want to do that?
I don't know. I'm in misery every
Yeah.
damn day of the week, you know. So, just waiting for my rich uncle to pass. I don't
Now
have one.
the last part I want to show here, they tried to redo the alien where he's examining it,
Yep.
and like they tried to get it to blink and shit.
Kind of a little exploration and autopsy. All right, guys, I think the wound is all dressed. We're ready to go. And recording. 3, 2, 1, start.
First, that way. Expose the legs. And now, here. Getting close, turn right your hand. It's into frame. There you go. In terms of the chin to the left. Now, across the eye. Okay, now he's...
Now look how much it just looks like a fucking dummy.
Yeah. I was straight up, you know how I don't believe in all this shit very much. I believe, but I need that proof. When he opened the mouth and the
Now look, the eyes, they don't glow like they did in the
Yeah.
other video.
But they
But
were
they
able to
did-
get into blank.
They just put like a motor.
Yeah, so this guy then has the know-how and capabilities to get these little motors and the makeup knowledge to do it, to make the eyelids work.
well, the other thing is that like when he opened the mouth and whatnot, it was more you know, well CPR training and whatnot, right?
Yep.
When you hold a person's mouth and whatnot, it kind of drops open more or so or whatnot, and you kind of feel the same. That had the same type of motion to it.
Yeah.
Whereas that one, I mean, his eyes were already open, you know, in the faked one, and then they're just like, oh, I'm gonna pry them open a little bit more. Whereas the other one was actually shut. Then you actually, I thought you saw him
Yeah, he
lift the
kind of
eyelid
looked
up.
like he grabbed the actual
Yeah.
eyelid and
So it's more like a flesh more than a plastic. You're not gonna be able to lift a plastic up.
Right.
I don't know. That's kind of, it's pretty good evidence. I
It
guess.
makes you think
Yeah.
about stuff. I mean, I have a zillion questions I'd love to ask this guy, and
We should Skype his ass.
Oh, I'm
I
sure he'd
fucking
be
hate Skype.
more than willing, but We'd have to get his number, I suppose.
We'd have to figure out how to contact him. And
Yeah, he's been on Coast to Coast AM and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Long story short, they basically said this guy was a liar, and anybody that's going to watch the show and go, oh, it was fake, because they said it was fake.
yeah,
But that's what these shows are made to do. You don't watch it to get the
Absolutely.
truth. I mean, every time
Yeah.
that's Hunting for Giants,
Right.
Search for Ancient Aliens, all that shows I watch on History and Discovery,
Yeah.
at the end, there's never that definitive, holy shit, because you can't. Like, that's why, you
Well,
know...
if it was proven, they wouldn't be doing shows about
Exactly.
it because it would be
Yeah.
just accepted.
Search for Bigfoot comes on every damn year. You know the reason why they do it every year and they never find him? Because they need it for the next fucking year.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
if they did the first
a program
season
like that will never provide proof because
Yeah, they
once
need
proof
it.
is
Yeah.
found, the real scientists will come in and
Exactly, yeah.
send them off to the side. You know,
Oh,
it's
holy
done.
shit, we found an alien fucking a Bigfoot. Case closed, 2 seasons done. Like,
Yeah.
no. You guys need to move on. You know, we can't find you today. We're going to go ahead and keep looking for Bigfoot. Now, he's sitting over like, yo, can I get some fucking FaceTime on the camera? No, Mr.
Eating the
Bigfoot,
Zag
fuck
nut
off.
bars
We
and
have
stuff.
another 5 seasons we want to milk the son of a bitch for. You know,
Yeah.
that's never going to happen.
There's one more piece to this, and they didn't mention it on this show either.
What's that?
This bracelet. The alien was wearing this bracelet.
I was going to ask about that.
He still has it.
Oh, really?
Oh, shit, can I see that?
It's actually
Dude, what's
got...
it made out of?
That's the thing. I think they...
Aluminium.
I have to look that up. But I believe some of it was inconclusive or whatever.
Like a not known alloy.
It's
that's being
actually
made.
got... Go ahead and look at it. It's got 3 pin needles under the bottom. So you stick it on your wrist, and it goes interfaces
Yeah,
with you,
yeah.
and then it actually wraps around your arm. He put it on himself and disappeared for a little while and came back.
Really?
Yeah.
So why did the government take it from him?
He's making sure to keep that part hidden.
Don't they read this book?
Yeah, but he doesn't know. He doesn't even really know where the bracelet's going to be. They always constantly make sure that
Oh, he
that's
just
off.
hide-
Because after what happened to him,
Yeah.
killing his people that he knows and stuff, he's going to take chance or
Yeah,
precautions.
that's somewhere way away from where he is, you
Yeah.
know, for the most part.
But that interface is with whoever's.
yeah, and the obelisk
Freddy's-
as well, too, probably, you know.
He called that alien Freddy. It's Freddy's other
people.
people. Yeah.
So, question now. Did Freddy escape from the freezer when John wasn't around, or did John help him escape?
He said it would come out for a little while, and it would go back in. It actually did like the cooler.
It would go back in the
Yeah,
freezer.
probably because it was probably hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was trying to preserve itself. I don't know. But he went on Coast to Coast AM, and it was making noises out of the freezer, and he played that clip on there, and it's just like a screeching, howling, like something.
Let me the fuck out.
It's creepy, yeah.
I wonder if Simon Pegg and those guys read this before they did Paul. This sounds a lot, you know, little gray little fucker. The only thing with Paul is he smokes cigarettes, cussed a lot, and
I have no idea
Get
what
over
he's
his breath.
talking about.
But it
a
was a
movie, it's a
good
great
book.
movie.
Goes
Oh,
into
funny.
movie.
goes into great detail
What kind of
about
culture
exactly
this
what
shit?
happened.
That's
oh yeah,
crazy.
and actually I flipping
Yeah,
through it,
that'd be
reading
an
a little bit
interesting
here
book.
and there. Is really
Yeah,
it seemed
I have to check it
interesting.
out.
I might
And he
read
talks
that.
about like future events and stuff, but the problem is with future events, it can be
You can't
changed.
do that. Yeah,
Yeah.
future's never solid. It's never
Yeah.
solidified. So every time someone's like, "In the future, we're gonna have flying cars," it's like, yeah, that's a possibility. But when they put a date on it, you're fucked.
Yeah,
you know, 'cause
right.
you can't do that.
Yeah, like the big earthquakes coming up and
Like Yosemite's supposed to blow up sometime. We're all gonna be underneath a bunch of ash and shit.
Well, that's interesting, Dan. I had never come across that before.
That's a good one. Yeah, some evidence on that one.
Absolutely.
So. And he's still staying in hiding to imagine living the rest of your life like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at
We need
this
to find some
point,
abandoned places around here in case we ever
you'd
need
think,
to hide.
yeah, the hills, just hit the hills. Stay mobile.
I can't do that. Ever since knowing you and the Sasquatch shit, I'm afraid to go camping now.
Well, they're quite peaceful. you
Or are
know,
they?
Yeah.
They eat raw meat. They don't even cook the shit.
Yeah,
How
well,
can you be peaceful if you're
They're,
not?
they're known to be peaceful because the ones they're aggressive to, they never come back out of the woods and get found. So, you know, only the people that
I don't
see
know if I
it-
like you having that thing on here. This is getting ridiculous.
I fucking love this thing.
Go ahead and do your story, Pete.
It has,
All right, all right.
it has this little thing, so I feel like Star Wars, that You know, they took a drag. What was it, Job or something? Yeah, I was like,
with the background, the band that played the same song over and over. Yeah. Okay.
I love this.
Very cool, Dan. I'll be sure to check out
Can I read
more
that?
about that.
Yeah.
Is it yours?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm reading another book now, but then I'd want to try that
Yeah,
out.
go ahead.
Okay. We're going to talk about the legendary John Chang, okay? John is an Asian fella that...
Couldn't tell with the last name.
Any relation to Jackie Chan?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's Jackie Chan. This is John Chang.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what it is, he's a chi energy master, and
shit.
there's a documentary that was made in the early 80s, okay, that follows him, and they call him Dynamo Jack, I think they call him, but his name is John anyway. We'll get into that.
Slips me.
Yeah, I forget. But what's really cool about this is that, you know, you go on YouTube today and you talk about chi energy and you see all these chi masters getting their asses kicked by like real martial artists and people showing how, oh, this is how they're doing it and this is how all the videos are hoaxed. Well, this was done in the early 80s, you know, kind of a little bit before a lot of this internet hoaxing stuff, obviously long before this internet hoaxing stuff came on. And what I found really cool is that the group doing the documentary like actually participated and had things done to them as well. So there's the video's like I think 9.5 minutes long. I'm going to jump us around a little bit, but it's pretty interesting, and we'll discuss when we're done.
I really do like this shit, you know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I first met him in the early 80s in a Chinatown of urban Java. He didn't want his real name or address revealed, so we called him DJ for Dynamo Jack. He was
Dynamo
only a
Jack.
healer, he said, but he did direct a powerful energy generated from his own body into his patients.
Okay, you got the gist.
Meditation every day.
It's meditation.
And this is one of the actual people on the film crew had an eye
And this
infection. He was
is
just
nothing,
treating
okay?
him.
Remember? Just like this.
For our sound recordist, it was also a shocker. He then took our newspaper outside and showed us how chi can also be used to set things on fire. When
be
he
a
heard
handy,
we'd shown this footage in public,
power
he
to
was
have.
very upset. And
If you're out in the woods.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Don't ever need another lighter again. Here's some other stuff. This one is he's able to control his chi energy and stop a pellet gun with his hand. So we can check that out. Let's hit play here.
surface, he says, of the real adventure beneath, in the meditational technique. Projecting chi from the palm of the hand can also be used to resist rifle pellets, he says.
You see his hand buck there?
First, you learn to distinguish between yin and yang chi in your body.
Okay, so would anybody want to do that with their hand on the end of a pellet gun?
So that was just like a BB gun, though, right?
Yeah, it was air rifle, you
yeah.
know, but you could see that the lead pellet itself was deformed, so
Yeah.
it came up against something.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's probably going to impact the skin and probably hurt quite a bit. And he didn't see any having a red mark or breaking his skin.
Yep. And then this is something that he does with a
Several
chopstick.
miles away to see if he can light a light bulb with his
Oh.
fingers. It doesn't ground on the wall. So Greg holds and grounds one wire, while DJ pumps chi through the other. The bulbs are LEDs, light-emitting diodes, which ignite in different colors according to the intensity of current.
On, off, on.
Brilliant.
I mean,
blinking.
how could
Things
you
were
really
going
even
well.
fake that?
DJ was enjoying it too, until he invited us all out to lunch at his local, where he tried to push a chopstick through the table.
He was having fun until this.
He couldn't get it through the Formica surface, so he came up through an inch of wood from underneath.
Styrofoam table.
Not only did he draw his own blood, but a chopstick splinter had caught Alison here between the eyes, drawing more.
And then here, this is kind of the
incident
wrap-up.
was laughed off apologetically, but next morning he was a different man, drawn and upset. He said he'd been visited all night by his long-dead master, raging that he'd broken the strict taboos of his sect, never to show off in public and never to cause harm or draw blood. He felt deeply chastised. All further testing and filming must end.
There we go. Basically, he said after that, he's done, he's out, and he fades away, and he just becomes a healer. So, I know, like I said leading in, I know that there's a lot of modern videos showing, oh, this is debunk, and this is, you know, how this could be done, similar to what we just saw with your video. Someone comes in and says, this is how you could do it.
Right.
But there's just some sort of tinge of authenticity to this video, some genuineness that kind of just steps out at me. It's just a very interesting and compelling video. Anyway, thoughts on what you saw?
I think it just goes to show that we really don't know what we don't know, you know?
Yep.
Well, it's interesting because we don't understand the, excuse me, I apologize, something flew in my dumb eye. We don't understand the idea, the concept of a placebo. If you tell somebody they have cancer, you give them a sugar pill and tell them it's going to heal them, they'll heal them, right? See, we don't have any understanding whatsoever, really, well, how much power the mind has over the body anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when I was younger, I saw a documentary about a doctor, pretty much the same type of thing. Buddhists could control his chi, and they actually used a thermal camera. And he took a wet, moist towel and put it in front of the camera, and it was, you know, cold, it was blue. And he would put it between his hands and do this with it and focus his chi, and then it got up to 100 some degree, it got red.
Yeah.
And what he was a healer also, and he was using that to massage people and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Now, being a practitioner of Buddhism also, I practice Buddhism, it's really interesting because depending on the type of Buddhism and who you talk to and where you go, there's kind of more of a mystic type of Buddhism that believes in more of like talking to your great ancestors or your masters, being able to talk to the dead, being able to focus chi and be able to do those things. And we see that quite a bit. I mean, they still have kung fu masters and whatnot. They focus all the chi in that little Adam's apple they throw, and then put the spike on there, and then bend the bamboo, and they've tested that on a couple different TV shows, and it's all real. And they only ever end up with a little red mark there, and it's a spear, you know, that type of thing. So yeah, I believe in this stuff. It's hard for me to try to debunk it because, like I said, I practice Buddhism, but at the same time, when he took the piece of paper, yeah, he could have put something in there and then rolled it up, and then after a while it got hot, and then he pretended it was chi. He could have simply gone ahead and, with the toothpick or the chopstick, couldn't go through the top, so he came up through the bottom. Although it's hard for us to see.
What's underneath, yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Maybe that plywood or something, maybe sat there for 20 years, and he just picked at it, so he knew he could go through it. There's so many different ways to debunk these types of things, and it's hard for me because I do believe in a lot of it, but at the same time, I have to be fair, because if I'm going to go ahead and tell Dano that reptilian people are completely nuts, and I'm going to tell you that the Bigfoot and Sasquatch are a bunch of hairy raccoons in a fucking jacket running around, I got to do the same thing for even the stuff I believe in.
What about the LED?
The LED,
that's a tough one. I'm going to go back to that pellet rifle too. I mean, to be able to do that without
maybe he only gave the BB one pump, and then it was a deformed bullet already.
But that's the thing of it is, yeah, right. It was deformed.
If the bullet was deformed bigger than the diameter, it would have never passed through the.
That's hard because there was no red mark.
Through the barrel.
And it was a pellet. It wasn't a BB, so it probably had that pointed end to it. And you would think that would have somehow went through, So yeah, and the LED though, I don't know. Maybe he had it.
Next show, I'll borrow Buddy's pellet gun. We'll give it one pump. We'll put a pellet in there and see what it does to a human hand.
I'm gonna do a week's worth of meditation.
Dusty's hand.
Yes, Dusty's hand.
No, I actually believe this is legit shit.
Yeah, this is. the
I
human,
do, but
you know,
I gotta
the
be
human
honest,
body is
I gotta play
can be
both sides.
wired so many different ways, and you know, all we are is just a series of electrical impulses triggering muscles, you know, going around. And
Well, that's to say, you know, you hear about, I don't know if everybody has, but when I was younger, you hear about a mother got in a car wreck, her baby's trapped in the car, you know, and lifts said car or rips open the door.
It's that
You know,
adrenaline push, yeah.
you got the adrenaline side. I mean, you have superhuman strength. You hear about placebos and how they heal people that shouldn't have been healed and everything else. I mean, so you have the power. As a matter of fact, if I were to put money on any of these things that we talk about most times, it's the human factor that I can put money on. It's the idea that we don't understand how our brain works, how our body's controlled. I mean, they've even talked, I've read reports about how placebos and all this other shit, how we could develop into having telepathy, you know, how it wouldn't be very difficult, and then all this other shit. And yeah, some of it gets a little crazy, but at the same time, like this is stuff that I believe in. I'm not saying that it couldn't be faked, but, and I've seen these guys too, they go down to the river and it's a nice clear day and it's calm, they have the lake in front of them and they say, I'm going to use my chi energy to cause ripples. And I've watched them and I thought, well, you know, 'cause I practice, I like this, you know. Then all of a sudden I start going right back to that debunking type of thing, that skepticism I have. And they always have their hands kind of next to their knees, and then they hum really deep. Well, yeah, if you're humming, you're resonating, you know. And then of course, if you shake your legs just a little bit, but you're focused more on the arms and the fingers in the water, you know, of course you can make ripples. So of course, even when I'm watching this shit, I'm like, oh yeah, I love Buddhism. This is real, and my religion is better than everybody else. No, I'm not like that at all. But you know, I get all excited, and then all of a sudden I'm like, no, he's just moving his legs. Debunked. You know.
Do you guys ever look at those telekinesis ones?
Mm-hmm.
Like the
I've
one
seen a
with
few of them.
That lady where they actually put something inside a box so she couldn't affect it, and she could still move the object.
Oh yeah.
no, I haven't seen that.
That's an old one.
There was one where the guy had something, and they put it in the next room. And they didn't tell him what it was. They just told him it was on his kitchen table. And there's something on your kitchen table. Can you move it? And he tried and tried. And I think they moved just a wee bit, but not a lot. He's like, I really would have to see it to believe. But then they brought it in, and he sat there and he's doing like this to it. Kamehameha. And it did move a little bit. You know, he just started going, and then it's like, well, you know, could it be? If you can use your own chi to create fire, could you not project that to move something? I suppose you probably could. It's just, it's kind of hard, you know. That's a little bit more strange, you know. You don't really know. So.
Oh, bonus point for the Dragon Ball Z reference.
Thank you very much. Just watch an ad for the new anime video coming out, Dragon Ball Z. Spirit bomb the fuck out of y'all. You don't know that shit. That's all right.
Huh.
So Dan's like, I don't know what the fuck Dragon Ball Z is.
What's happening, Dan?
Only what I know about Dragon Ball Z is where he tells that girl, I don't want to see her dirty fanny. Did you see that?
You let me have your Dragon Ball, and I'll let you have a little peek.
What do I care about seeing your dirty old fanny?
It is not dirty, you rude little boy!
Dragon Ball Z has a little bit of a following for the more racy part of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess
I've only seen Dragon Ball Z that's been in syndication on regular television.
Oh,
so I'm guessing
no, you get the Asian stuff, it's a little bit more risque.
Yeah, I can imagine.
When I was in the service, get you now, you know, trained to fight and kill and everything else, we're watching Dragon Ball Z.
So wait a minute, Dragon Ball Z is more of an adult-themed animated series?
Not here. Well, no,
like
now
original.
it's on late night on Adult Swim. They don't even show it during regular time, I don't think, anymore, because they show it uncut. So I've never watched one, so I don't know, maybe it has a little, you know, like, oh, I'm bending over in a short skirt.
Well, I guess we don't need to get into details, but I
can wear a short skirt.
I just remember watching it at, like, it was part of like Sunday morning cartoons there for a while.
No, it's Bugs Bunny. Which brings up another good point that I've seen on Facebook. We all have is these goddamn people nowadays, the government going, oh, violent cartoons are causing violent people, and we all watched motherfucking the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote try to bomb the living shit out of this little bird, and I never saw one of us paint a fucking tunnel on the side of a building in hopes that someone will drive through it. You know what I'm saying? So
well, you've never seen my human slingshot that I built as a kid.
Did you really? That'd be so cool if you still had it.
You know, Wile E.
Network special.
Yeah. The big Acme Rocket backpacks that you like.
With the roller skates and helmet.
Yeah.
He did wear a helmet, folks. He had a helmet on.
Safety first.
Roller skate.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
Safety Pete.
That's why Safety Pete saved it. I'm sorry, Mr.
Sorry,
Wile E.
I try
Coyote.
not
What
to-
you're doing is completely fucking wrong.
I try not to bring work into this. But. All right,
Really?
go.
Yeah.
You're up, Dusty. Go.
So, I'm going to be honest with everybody. I was very late today, and I was a little unprepared. And the girlfriend...
Well, don't worry, we weren't that prepared either, so...
I thought I was. I don't know.
It's like, I brought a book, fuckers.
I was just trying to make him feel better about himself.
So I was running late. So actually, the girlfriend picked this out, and I read it. She read it to me halfway here, and I read the rest. I love this. I've never heard of this before. She finds this because I was really late, and anyway, what it is the light bulb conspiracy. Now I've never heard of this before. I absolutely love this conspiracy because it's simple, easy, and fun. Well, I mean, conspiracies go. Is that the thing right there? Okay. So what this is the theory is that light bulb manufacturers have gone ahead and ensured that our light bulbs only will last for 20 light bulb hours or 40, whatever else.
I actually can believe that.
Yeah, well, that it makes sense, right?
It's not that hard to believe.
Very
it really
true.
Isn't.
They've gone ahead and they have this great idea, the Sentinel light, which has been in use for 108 years as of 2010. They're talking about how these old light bulbs from Germany and China and every place else, these really old ones, last forever. And as soon as they come on market, eBay or anything else, someone buys them right quick for research, and they never come back out.
Oh.
Very interesting. It's all here in the wiki. But they also talk about how in America, our light bulbs only last half as long as, say, Russian or German, and only a quarter long as Chinese and everything else. So everybody else in the country, in the world,
is starting to use these better
light-
materials.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and I love it because if you look at a light bulb, it looks the same as it did 100 fucking years ago, unless you go to LEDs. But still, the light bulbs look the same as they did 100 fucking years ago. Same little fucking wire. You know,
Except the old ones look cooler, the Edison ones.
Oh shit, yeah, dude, the fucking look. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, that's a different warm or different tone or color.
Color and light, yeah.
Well, they're orangish.
Yeah, a little more orange.
But they really do.
They
light
got
up really
they got
nice.
different patterns in them. They're
Yeah.
different shapes and shit. They're cool.
They're really cool.
Are they more like?
I wonder
like
if we
artistic
could find
things?
some
Yeah,
old
they're
ones.
like steampunk kind of.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that steampunk shit.
Yeah,
I really do.
steampunk's cool.
So I wonder if we ever found one, like an original old one, if we plugged it in and see how, like, just here's one, turn them on and walk away and see which one goes out first. I just love it. I absolutely love this. And it makes sense. It's easy to buy into. I mean, tell me you can't, well, it's been 100 years, fellers, and, modern medicine, modern manufacturing, all has far surpassed what was done 100 years ago. We're still going to use this little wire. And I fucking hate that damn wire. Because the damn thing, I pull it on, like...
Well, it's not even just in your regular light bulbs. It's in the bulbs that are in your turn signals and, brake lights, all that crap.
See, I got Hue lights in my room, and I think they're only rated for 15,000 hours. These are 150,000.
Which ones? Oh, yeah. Dieter Bringenschwig invented a light bulb with an expectancy of 150,000 hours, 17 years of continuous use. Shortly after finally finding a manufacturer for his bulbs in 1991, he died in a plane crash, which was officially regarded.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Oh, that
happens all the time. Somebody invents something great, doesn't it?
Yeah, and look at that. Interesting. A plane crash, which officially regarded as an accident, his patent has since sunken into obscurity and oblivion.
Oh boy!
Wow, how'd that happen?
What is this composed of?
I don't know. Well, his patent's gone. That's completely gone.
It
So
just
you're not
doesn't
able to
say
pull it
anything
out.
in there?
No.
Huh.
The oldest lamp in the world, the Centennial light, has been used for 108 years. Wow.
I mean, this is great.
That's crazy.
This is a reason to get pissed off and start throwing things at light bulb people. No, I don't know. What? I don't know. I've never heard of this before in my life, and then when she read it to me, I was like, holy shit, that makes sense. It just makes perfect sense.
I have not a problem.
Oh
at all
yeah.
believing
Why
it.
would you want to make something? I mean, and you can't really fault the manufacturer. Look at those Crocs shoes, right? Crocs, those plastic shoes everyone's wearing.
Oh yeah, those.
Okay.
Yeah.
The company shoots up, making millions because everybody needed a pair. What was that, 2-3 years ago when they first came out?
Yep.
Everybody had a pair of these
Have
things.
you ever
Most
owned a pair of
comfort.
Crocs?
See, the name ain't familiar to me.
They got those like little round circles, like I don't know. They kind of look like a
Like
slip-on
rubber
type.
plastic sandals.
Oh, okay,
slip-on
with the
things.
air
Yeah.
holes in them.
Yeah, air
Those
holes.
things are magnificent. CNAs, a lot of CNAs and whatnot, because I knew a few.
No.
Loved them. They could wear them and everything else. Okay, so everyone loves these things. Everyone buys these things. They come out real tree, mossy oak, pink, purple, everything else. Make them for kids, make them for big adults, everything else. Here's a problem. The things are fucking made really, really well.
Yeah, they're gonna.
They last for fucking a while. Even if you lose them in the river, right? A lot of people wore them to the river.
Sure.
They float. You're gonna pick them up later. These things are really well. So what happened was the manufacturer built and added on to his company to keep the production going because of the rise in demand and all the money's making. Then all of a sudden it's like, bam!
Yeah, and now he's got 300,000 square feet of equipment that he can't use.
He's got a shit ton. He's had to look at it and say, do I shut down? You know, he expanded that building so much. So now he's looking at other things that he can do with the same manufacturing process to keep business going. So the manufacturer for light bulbs, you kind of got to give him a little shit, but at the same time, you got to understand, all right, you know, do we want jobs in America? Well, then we can't make a light bulb that lasts forever. You know, because we'd all buy 17 light bulbs for your house and then you're done.
Kind of like with the refrigerators and stuff too.
But you know, now you're talking about, you know, you say that, you know, do we want people to have jobs and stuff? Well, eventually that mindset will get us to a point where there just will be nothing left for anybody anyway. So, you know,
Then we'll
it kind
be
of
all right.
disregards the sustainability side of that argument, or that, not that argument, but that, you know, that thought. But I know, I get why you do it. You're making money. It's capitalist, society ruled by capitalists. So
are we still capitalist?
Yeah,
Really?
Fascist.
Fascist, communist.
Fascist capitalists, yeah, whatever. Okay, that's a whole other discussion too. But anyway, it is still driven by money grubbing, you know,
absolutely.
dirtbags that want to make as much money as they can. And so this doesn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me right now that the Croc manufacturer is going through some design review where they're going to start putting some weak spots in.
So it starts
after
falling apart
20,000, you know, or 100,000 steps, this thing's going to break. You need to buy a new pair.
Absolutely.
So hopefully he comes up with a great Croc recycling program at the same time.
That would be excellent. Well, I mean, you should be able to. I think they're made out of some kind of polyurethane plastic shit, right?
Did he ever come up with a new product?
I watched that video a couple of years back, so I really don't know.
Okay.
I really don't. And I don't fault the manufacturer. I really don't.
No.
Because we, like you said, is capitalist. But then again, I have also read a lot of ethic type books and whatnot, and philosophers and everything else, and they say that we're living in an age that we really don't have to be living the way we are. We're kept down, you know, at this level by the people above us because they don't want us to have this and that. I mean, there's a lot of different ways you can look at it. Now, I don't buy into all of them, and I don't say they're all correct. I do think that there should be huge advances, you know, in certain areas in our life
absolutely.
that there's not. So,
you know, using the light bulb example again too. You know, they want to make money. You know, keep people working. Well, if you had light bulbs where you only had to buy 25 of them and last your whole life, you know, barring any fire, you know, or anything like that, you're going to spend that money somewhere else, and the economy is going to morph and change, and society will change. And now, if you have more money to spend on fun stuff, now instead of manufacturing, and needing, you know, a team of people chucking out light bulbs that last 1/10 of the time they should, now instead you'd have teams doing the more recreational type stuff, the more enjoyment stuff. You know, people will be getting into the musics, the traveling, you know, the food and stuff more. So there's money to be made. It's just that when these people are making money in this, they want to preserve that exact field under any cost. And that's where you know, I think some unethical stuff does happen.
I agree. I really do. I think there could be a whole different, like a spectrum shift of the way we live if people would look at it differently.
Absolutely.
This is kind of like PC and Mac. You know, PCs don't last and Macs last forever. So,
Hey, can we let's bring up that next YouTube video? We'll put it on a full screen here, and we'll.
Should
do that.
Should we go to full screen and see what happens at Apple?
No.
It's like a worm start crawling out of it. It becomes Medusa's head, and
This
it
is
freezes
great.
everything it looks at.
I feel like Switzerland in that debate because I don't know. I'm not versed well enough in either systems ins and outs to know what's better.
All you have to know.
All you gotta know is when you go to Mac, your headaches go down.
If you go to Mac, you can't run YouTube in full screen.
Once you go to Mac, you never go back.
Oh yeah.
Once you go
Once you go
back,
back, we don't want you back. That's how that works.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm telling you what, man.
Right on. Awesome.
Look at Apple's
Like,
one
hey,
of
Dan.
those money grubbing damn companies too.
It's like, hey Dan, let's jump on and play games tonight. Oh, I can't. I'm on my Mac. You fuck you.
Which is funny because I bought you a game and the other for Chem-Lite Bandit guys a game.
Your host.
We didn't get you one, Dan.
You lost out on a free
It wasn't a
game.
Mac compatible game.
Shit, I don't
Probably
know.
not.
They were buying one for you anyway, even if it was.
You don't jump on the Chem-Lite Bandit side. I didn't buy you one. Otherwise, you know
I'm
what?
too busy editing shows.
It's multitasking. I do it all.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say nothing.
I was gonna say we definitely don't want Dan to start running these shows unedited because that would be bad news.
Why?
We would all
Are
be
you
living.
scared?
We would all be down with Jonathan Reed hiding out in Mexico if that was the case.
You know what? I will say. Say we do this. How long have we been doing this? About three months now.
4 months.
4 months.
actually.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jeez, we've been
It's
really
episode
hammering it.
16, if I remember right.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I'm waiting because I'm hoping it never happens. But you know, a year from now, we keep this shit up. One of us is gonna have an accident. You know, like I fell down the stairs, broke my leg or something, but I thought someone was in the house with me. Because every time we do these fucking stories, if someone has any kind of truth or gets close to the truth, he has an accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or his friends
As
have
soon
an
as they
accident.
become a threat to whatever
Yeah.
particular sect is being affected,
Yeah.
then something bad happens.
I just hope it doesn't happen, you know, of course. But then again, I hope we get really close to the truth, or we stumble upon something, or one of our watchers, if we have more than one, Mom. If we have,
Oh, Dusty's mom. Hi.
Thanks for watching. But if we have one of these, somebody that has something and wants to come out but wants to remain anonymous, they can come to us, and then we're like, check this shit out, it's real, blah blah blah. And the next thing you know, it's like there's an accidental nuke explosion in Coon Valley, right on recording day. Wiped everybody out.
That's why you were so late today.
I was
Is
making.
that
I
you
was
were making sure that the
There's
scene
a
was
black
safe.
SUV behind me. I was like, oh fuck this. I will not lead them to you guys.
Don't nuke Coon Valley. None of these guys live in Coon Valley. It's just me.
That's right. Yeah, poor Andy's behind the camera. We're not anywhere near that. Yeah, go ahead. I dare you to take out Coon Valley.
We're on the outskirts.
So, Dan, I do want to say that of the three topics we talked about, I found yours to be the most intriguing. It was really cool. It was a nice surprise. It was,
Well, thank
It was
you.
awesome.
I really liked it. And you know, when you bring shit out, and it's gonna be about aliens and stuff, I instantly go to skeptic mode. Like, nuh-uh.
Yeah,
But
we-
this one
you
was
have to
actually
approach
like,
it.
well, we have to. Yeah, that's the same reason with yours. I had to be skeptical even about stuff that I believe in because. It's only fair if I don't want to jump on my own
Yeah, no,
bandwagon type thing. So yeah, when you
There's
brought that
plenty
out, I
of
was like,
charlatans out there.
I don't know. Here we go, the reptilian people that are flat Earth and shit, and then all of a sudden I'm like,
I would have
damn,
loved
really
to have
good.
seen some live footage of aliens walking around. That would have been cool. But,
I wish he would have walked all the way around the damn Obulus ship now. Just because of the assholes that
But
changed it.
that's so stupid. Schedule 80 pipe. And you
Yeah.
can just tell it was like leaning like this.
yeah.
I wish and you don't think of those things. If you were out there doing that, you're like, holy shit, oh my god.
You know what, too? It just dawned on me. Those jokers never simulated or recreated the camera going out and getting all fuzzy the closer he got. Remember when he was trying to get
very
closer,
true,
kept
yeah.
breaking down, and he
They probably would have just said that was editing or whatever.
Oh, yeah, well.
Yeah.
In 96, what kind of editing are we talking about? Some shitty Premiere.
Was,
crap.
Photoshop, was that
Movie
even
Maker.
available in 96?
It was
No, I don't know.
terrible.
There wasn't really much back then.
It was a bitch. You had
Yeah.
to rip it and.
What did the video look like? Did it have any lines on the bottom?
Yeah.
Remember when it did? So he was ripping it. Well,
This was it was 96. So you're
Yeah.
talking handy cam
like
footage.
yeah.
So it was
he
all
had-
scriggly and then
Well, usually when
static.
we ripped back in '99, it would like put a little at the bottom, and there was always like a little.
That might have been cropped out.
Oh.
You can do that.
Yeah, but I didn't see that though either. So.
Oh.
Are we?
But to end the show, like Jack Nicholson says, you can't handle the truth. Thank you for joining us. This has been Talk is Cheap. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and favorite. And check out Social Fix, our sister channel. And
It's the brother, the big brother.
Yeah, why are you calling us sisters?
little brother.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on now.
The taller brother.
Have a good one.
Okay, so that's kind. We don't need to necessarily leave it on that, but that's fine.
You're gonna leave it right there with the man's
junk hanging out.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a centerpiece of conversation.
Okay, I'm guessing we're gonna
We
catch that. We can catch that in editing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should
Never
put a
again
black
would he submit to public scrutiny,
So basically,
nor accept any new students.